Well, the one I'm seeing here, and well, for this particular national newspaper to be making such a big deal of this matter, banner headline, front page this morning, it must mean that the situation is really very serious, Bimbo. It's about scavengers.
Yes.
And they say scavengers attack Lagos Bridge, strip pillars of iron bars. The iron bars that are they are also supposed to work for safety, I think, for those using the bridge. And their riders, the Lagos State government says it is barbaric criminal. Yes, it is. 27 arrested, Sanwo-Olu orders probe, that's the governor. And the government directs clearance of people living under bridges. Well, this is indeed very sad.
And I'm sure to be of a high magnitude. Yes, as I've seen here that iron bars, meant to protect people, drivers. I don't know why people are so callous. And it happens here in Ibadan. Yes, in Ibadan. It happens here in Ibadan. Yeah, we just say that a kind of bomb. If you can remember, there's a place along General Gas Road. There's some kind of small rubber bombs like that. It did not take about 1 week till parts of them were stolen away, removed.
Well, Lagos State Governor Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu on Friday ordered an investigation into the vandalism of vital bridge infrastructure in the state following revelations that scavengers were stripping iron bars from bridge pillars. The development has raised concerns over the safety of bridges and the danger posed to motorists and other road users by the activities of vandals who remove structural materials for sale as scrap metal. A viral video seen by Saturday Tribune showed extensive damage to a bridge linking Alakija to Festac, where vandals had broken into parts of the pillars and removed reinforcing steel bars embedded in the concrete. They actually broke the concrete to get at the iron bars. The exposed portions of the pillars showed the extent to which the structure had been attacked, prompting concerns about the possible consequences of continued vandalism of public infrastructure. Following developments, Sanwo-Olu ordered a probe into the incident and directed security agencies to identify and arrest those responsible. The governor also directed the appropriate authorities and security agencies to clear people living under bridges across the state as part of measures to protect the structures and prevent their surroundings from becoming bases for criminal activity. So that's to tell you the extent to which people have become desperate in the name of making a living, destroy public infrastructure built with millions of naira in taxpayers' money. And I condemn this in its totality, Bimbo. Like I always say, maybe we should also be looking into what has driven so many youths and quite a huge number of them to become scavengers. And I also wonder whether this kind of act that is being reported in Lagos was perpetrated under cover of darkness or in broad daylight.
It should be under darkness. And of course,
it would have taken time for this to be done. And I'm wondering, a place like Lagos Metropolitan, there is hardly night in Lagos. Night, as I mean, when everyone and everything goes to sleep. So I wonder when they are perpetrating their acts there, and those areas they mentioned, when it's midnight, it's also like daytime, except that it's dark, and of course there will also be lights, probably. So unless maybe the street lights to have been vandalized, I'm just wondering how easy it was for them to perpetrate this. Something that couldn't have taken it could have taken 5 minutes, it couldn't have taken an hour, it could have taken 2 hours. It takes time for them to perpetrate this kind of thing. So while I condemn this, Bimbo, I also think we need to begin to address, like I said, why so many youths have taken to scavenging to make a living. Times are hard, Bimbo. People are being, every day, young people are being pushed into crime. I'm not justifying crime, but then when you have to leave and you are frustrated, and no hope seems to be coming from anywhere. It's easy to say, oh, why don't you go to the construction sites? Why don't you go and do Billy Shokwe and all that? But hey, just how much can you make from that? Life is not easy in this country. And until our leaders change that mindset, the governors, the local government chairmen, until they change their mindset that it's only when you build bridges, when you build roads, that is when they will say you are performing. Until you shift their mindset to building people, when you are also building infrastructure, then the people you have refused bluntly to build will destroy the infrastructure you have built. Look at him. Let me give you an example. Mr. Baron recently, when he made that irritating statement that he cannot see the younger Nigerians are talking about, and what did he use to back up his claim? He said he could see bridges. He said he could see roads. He said he traveled from Lagos and passed through the old, from Lagos to Ijebu or something like that. He said they passed through certain areas where there were federal roads, and they saw the massive construction and rehabilitation going on. And to him, that translates into a better life for the people, that will bring the goodies to the people, to the suffering masses. That was his own thought pattern. That was the way he was thinking, that good roads, bridges, street lights will translate into food on the table for the general masses. When you keep on, at the same time, when you keep on introducing very cruel policies that make it difficult for even small businesses to grow and thrive in this country, you introduce very harsh lending rates, even for people who want to work, you make it difficult for them to work and realize profit from what they are doing. So as long as we continue to emphasize infrastructure over humanity, over building people, yes, infrastructure is key. It's key to economic development, I agree. But when you neglect the populace, when you neglect the masses, and you trample on programs and policies that should make life better for them, and you refuse to subsidize what you should subsidize, this is the kind of thing you get. Like I said, I'm not justifying anything. I'm not justifying crime. Bimbo, crime is crime, no matter what. Then there can't be any excuse for crime. But then let us also address why these things are happening. The same reason why so many youths are taking to banditry. Why you have a very ready and open school of young people willing to join the ranks of bandits and terrorists in this country, and we are not looking at that. The last time the NSAS protest and the post-NSAS violence, for me, I think it came with a lot of lessons, but unfortunately, our leaders only saw the political side of things. How come Nigerians just have become so callous? How come they've become so cold-hearted to the extent that policemen were being attacked, were being butchered on the streets, and youths were eating the flesh of those police officers? We should ask ourselves those questions, the leaders then, that how did Nigerian youth, how did it come to this? How did they come to this? How come it seems as if young people no longer have a heart? But no, they didn't address that. That wasn't a lesson. And the way that the anger that we saw on the streets at the heat of the post-NSAS violence, the anger, especially among young people, that should also tell our leaders something. But unfortunately, they learned nothing.
And yes, like you said, talking about hunger, this scavenging, yes, that is attracting our youth now. It all boils down to hunger. And you remember, you mentioned what Bayo Onanuga said when he went around, saw bridges and roads and maybe some buildings, and saying that he does not see any poverty in the land. Or you remember another irritating statement he said that he made. He said he interacted with his private staff, personal staff, interacted with them, and he always asked them, is there any problem? Are you okay? They will say they are okay.
Okay.
So that means the private staff are Nigerians. The Nigerians, the popular Nigerians, all Nigerians. So that means that is what it's trying to say, that okay, fine, since you are okay, Nigerians are okay, there is no hunger in the land. Well,
so much for that, Bimbo. Okay, let's come to Oyo State now, and this running story about the Oludu masquerade, and a female who tried to do the unthinkable, who tried to break tradition. According to the story, she masqueraded, she disguised as a man and went filming the Oludu, and then there were consequences. She posted the recording on TikTok according to the initial story, and then it seemed as if all hell was let loose. She was brought in by the police for her own personal protection because of indigenes that were angry with her for desecrating tradition and for trying to demystify and probably embarrass the Oluyole masquerade. Well, the story was that, to cut the long story short, they said she was taken to the enclave of the masquerade and then made to undergo certain rituals when she started feeling unwell, and just to save her life. They initially said she was dead. Later, we got to know that she did not die. But then the lady, her name is Wasilat, and she has since then been given a different narrative, as different from the initial story we heard. She said she did not actually had the intention of filming the Oluyole, that she only came out to test her phone camera. She had acquired a new phone, and that she only took pictures, images of the crowd, of the Oluyole's entourage. And according to tradition, you are not even supposed to be abroad at that time. You're not supposed to be outside as a female at that time. So what were you doing outside? Well, in any case, among the several allegations made by Wasilat is that the traditionalist in charge of the Oluyole masquerade, that they collected money, 400,000 naira from her parents as atonement. And what I saw, well, God forgive me, but what I saw of Wasilat's, at least according to the images that I saw of Wasilat herself and of her family house, I wonder if they could be able to afford that kind of money in a jiffy, just like that. Well, although the masquerade, the masquerade has been responding, the custodians of the masquerade have been responding now, and they said, we did not collect 400,000 naira from Wasilat's parents. And that's coming from the traditionalist. It's actually a feature piece here, and it said Ibadan is home to numerous celebrated masquerades, including Ayelabola Ikonriku, Alagangan, Alapanshopa, Anikulapo, Labonika, and well, there are some of the names of the masquerade that I don't know how to pronounce, so don't let me murder the names of the masquerade, of the revered masquerades. Now, okay.
So many names here.
Okay, the Saturday Tribune, they went visiting our home in the Koloko Ojudu area of Ibadan on Wednesday, and they said the lady whose death was announced repeatedly online was very much alive. Her survival, however, did not erase what she and her family said they had gone through. Instead, it opened the door to a far deeper conversation, one that reaches beyond a single viral video into the uneasy meeting point of sacred Yoruba traditions, and an era where nearly every event is instantly documented, shared, and debated online. Now, Wasilat's mother, Mrs. Tekinat Wasiu, a woman who got widowed 3 years ago, firmly rejected the central allegation that ignited the controversy. My daughter merely posted a video of the few people left after the crowd had dispersed. They first of all said it was the crowd that was following through that they recorded. Now they are saying that she only recorded the few people that were left, and that come she was dressed as a man. If she did not intend any mischief. Okay, she did not film the Oluyole masquerade. Some adherents accused her of recording them and came to take her because she uploaded the video, she told Saturday Tribune. According to Mrs. Wasiu, she had warned her daughter not to leave home when she learned the second procession would pass through the neighborhood, and so you could not keep a leash on your daughter. She went out to film the remnants of the Oluyole crowd, despite your admonition. Oluyole passed the area on Wednesday. I called my daughter who stays that Oremeji and warned her not to go to her shop because the procession would pass there on Thursday. Her husband had given her money to buy petrol for their generator so she could remain at home. She later told me she didn't know what made her still go to the shop. She posted the vans and the crowd after the procession had gone, telling people that Oluyole had passed and advising us to be careful. She said she maintained that what her daughter recorded was not the sacred masquerade itself. Even if it's not a sacred masquerade, why do you want to record the crowd Are you the one that is supposed to be telling people and your fellow females to be careful that Ololu is abroad? That's not supposed to be your job. And again, the fact that they said she was dressed as a man, so that shows that I think they're just trying to change the narrative.
Yes, she did it intentionally. If it was true that she was dressed as a man too, make sure that she got the visuals, the pictures of Ololu when the procession was taking place.
And they are insisting that they paid 400,000 naira, and they said the husband's daughter paid it through OPay after obtaining a cooperative loan. She said she still has the receipt. But the custodians of the Ololu are responding here. And when contacted by Saturday Tribune via telephone, the Akpeno to the Oluyole Oba Ogbonnyagbaye, popularly known as Abijah, one of the key custodians of the Ololu masquerade dynasty at Odiaje, name withheld, maintained that every necessary traditional rite had already been performed. Everything required for appeasement has been done, he said. All that was done for her were prayers and appeasement. She should be fine. His remarks reflected the position of many adherents who believe the reconciliation process was intended to restore spiritual harmony rather than punish the young woman. And okay, I'm trying to fast forward now. Okay. Also responding, the Mogaji of Odiaje and Oluyole of Oba Ogbonnyagbaye Chief Fagi blamed those he described as Islamic extremists for fueling the controversy surrounding the Ololu masquerade. He insisted that Ololu is not an Islamist masquerade but brings peace and purifies Ibadan city. Chief Fagi claimed the traditional institution had evidence that Wasila recorded sacred aspects of the procession, including the person who held the skull and the person who carried the skin, adding that such actions attract traditional consequences. He maintained that the young woman admitted to recording the procession voluntarily, stressing that nobody forced her to say it. According to him, she later told them it was a mistake, while the police observed that she couldn't eat during the period. He said appeasements were done for her so that she would be fine. He said she was told not to have a bath till the next day because of the appeasement to be done overnight, and they brought a pig, a goat, a pigeon, a tortoise, and some other things. Nobody collected 400,000 naira from her. Let her husband print the receipt and bring it out. We are waiting. We were the ones who begged her husband because the man said he was divorcing her. I was there and called him and begged him, he said. He further said traditional leaders intervened to reconcile the family after the incident. And well, as for the interview granted to the Nigerians by Wasilat herself, she thanked God that she's alive. And she said what she recorded were the Amotekun vehicles and people gathered on the road. I did not record the Ololu masquerade. And according to her, some TikTokers later advised her to delete the video, and she obliged. But the custodians of Ololu, they said they still have that original video. And then well, there was a dramatic turn during the interview, according to the Saturday Tribune. And they said as the interview with the Saturday Tribune progressed, events took an unexpected turn. Family members had early said Wasila was away at her residence in Atolu. Moments later, loud coughing and shouting erupted from inside the house. She began vomiting and briefly lost consciousness as relatives rushed into the room. Reporters and neighbors joined family members in helping to revive her before she regained consciousness. Shortly afterwards, her mother made some calls in tears and was instructed that Wasila should be brought to Ojaba to see a traditional figure. The emotional scenes underscored the strain the controversy had placed on the family, irrespective of where public opinion stood. So maybe she's still facing some of the consequences of her actions.
Yes, we'll take this short break. We'll be back.
The Oyo State government, under the leadership of Governor Seyi Makinde, has inaugurated a judicial commission of inquiry into the abduction of students and teachers in Esiele and Yawota communities of Orire local government area. The commission is part of the governor's commitment to thoroughly investigate the incident, establish the facts, and make recommendations that will help prevent a recurrence. Members of the public, especially victims, witnesses, and anyone with relevant information are invited to submit memoranda to assist the Commission in carrying out its mandate assignments. The memorandum should be addressed to the Secretary, Judicial Commission of Inquiry into the abduction of students and teachers in Esiele and Yawota communities of Oluyole local government area of Oyo State. Submissions can also be made physically at the conference room, Office of the Head of Service, Secretariat, Agodi Ibadan, or via mail at oysjceorireabduction@gmail.com. Be rest assured that all details will be treated with utmost confidentiality. All memoranda must be submitted on or before Friday, August 14th, 2026. Announcer, Barrister Mrs. Olamide Sandra Tella, Secretary, Judicial Commission of Inquiry.
All right, we're back,
okay.
and it's still conversation on Oluyole 98.5 FM.
Yes, I have this story. You remember what happened in Osun recently when the accounts of the state government was frozen by the EFCC, and the second day an order came from the president that yes, the EFCC should seek an order from the courts to defreeze the accounts of the Osun state government. Meanwhile, reactions have continued. Nigerians, especially politicians and political party stalwarts and some stakeholders, have been calling now for the removal of the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Oluyole, and the calls of the removal intensified on Friday as opposition parties and some Nigerians responded to the freezing of the Osun state government's account. And well, they described the action in the first place of the anti-graft agency as politically motivated, alleging that the commission had demonstrated partisanship ahead of the August 15 governorship elections. The Accord Party, New Nigeria People's Party, and many Nigerians and citizens asked President Bola Tinubu to sack Oluyole if he did not resign. Some groups, however, asked the EFCC boss to leave honorably after the president disowned his action.
Bimbo, I think those calls by those groups are most irresponsible. Fine, you are saying that Mr. Oluyole shouldn't have rocked the boat. The timing of his freezing of Osun state accounts. But then those groups, are they addressing the issues raised by the EFCC as a reason for freezing those accounts? They said they have been tracing mismanagement of various funds, ecological funds, environment, and all that, and then the suspicious transfer of funds. Why are those groups, why are they not addressing that? All they are interested in is, they froze them days to election, they froze Osun state accounts, and then there was a reason for the freezing of the accounts. Are those reasons genuine or not, aside the fact of the timing? And the FCC has said that it has to do its job irrespective of the timing. And there are also questions to be asked as to why the president used his own powers to say that the FCC should not go ahead with the investigation, because that is what he has said. If he says they should go and unfreeze the accounts and go and vacate a court order that did not exist in the first place, they are not asking the president why for the vacation of a court order that never existed in the first place. So that's why I said, well, my opinion here, that's why I said that those calls are most irresponsible. If those groups don't know what to say, they should just shut up and stop talking.
And some Nigerians are even following them on their X and
of course sentiments,
and they are just following them the same opinion that these stakeholders and political parties are calling for, that the EFCC chairman should be sacked. They are following them. I can see here some people are saying that he has stayed too long for whatever good he has done in the name of God. He should go. Some say the EFCC under his watch is serving the interest of the ruling APC and the presidency. I support his removal. Another user wrote, It is time to call time on this corruption of anti-corruption. Mr. Chairman, in God's name, please go. People are being made to believe that if most Nigerians, let me say, they are gullible. When they see something, they will not really think, like you said, why the EFCC had to embark on that move They will not think that way. But like, don't let me say it on air. When somebody says go like this, yes, everybody will just move.
Even if the EFCC is doing the bidding of the presidency, even if the EFCC is the president's dog, is the president's attack dog, is president's hound, why must they find anything on you? It is very convenient when you have skeletons in your cupboard to say that, oh, I'm being witch hunt, I'm being persecuted. Did somebody put those skeletons in your cupboard, or was it those that are persecuting you, the EFCC that is doing the bidding of one man, that is trying to manipulate things in favor of a particular political party? Are they the ones that manufactured and placed those skeletons in your cupboard? Why don't you make sure that they don't find anything when they search your wardrobe? That's been my own position. And if you are accusing, it's a different thing if you are accusing Mr. Oluyole of trying to rock the boat at this particular point in time that elections are near. And again, I've always asked that question, that is it for the opt-in time? Is the Accord party and the government in Osun State relying on state funds to fund the re-election of Governor Ademola Adeleke? Because what they should be worried about is, like I said yesterday, that okay, how are we going to pay salaries? How are we going to run the affairs of government now that the account is frozen? Not how are we going to proceed with the elections. The responsibility of funding INEC does not fall on them. It falls on the federal government. And even in the case of where OISEC, the State Independent Electoral Commission, organizes local government elections, the funding that will be coming from the states goes to the State Independent Electoral Commission, not to the individual political parties, not for the ruling party to fund its own election machinery. So, like I said, people are not seeing the connection. So, is it that what does it have to do with elections if they freeze state accounts? Is it that money you are going to use to fund your own re-election?
That means what you are talking about here is that people should see it that way. That is it state funds that they are going to use for the elections?
Well, that's the way I see it. I don't know if people want to see it that way or not, but that is the way. That's the question I'm asking. If somebody can give me a convincing answer, then of course I would rest my arguments.
Because sometimes these politicians, sometimes I'm not saying that they should not embark on whatever they want to do with any money that belongs to their state. But people will always think that way, that yes, the EFCC, the timing, like we have always said, the timing, it just coincides. Maybe it coincides with what is on ground, what happened.
Yes, the timing, but like I said, the timing, the action of the EFCC is not supposed to rock the boat of the coming elections. If anything, it's even supposed to garner sympathy votes for the ruling party. If people are thinking this way, that because they don't want them to win the elections, that's why they froze Osun State accounts. It would have been another thing if it had been Governor Adeleke's personal accounts that we are frozen. Yes. Then we can begin to talk. Or maybe the Accord party's accounts. They would have accounts. The party would have accounts. Then we can begin to talk about that affecting the elections.
But this one is the state's account. The state account. But well, all is that all of that is over now, and we hope people will just see some reasons about why the FCC has to get to that stage, why they should move at this point in time.
Well, it's not over, but they are asking for the man's removal.
Yes,
they are calling for the man's removal.
Yes, they are calling for the removal, but well, I am sure the president, he knows what to do.
And the Osun State government is also claiming damages.
Yes,
for the freezing.
I think about 2 billion naira or so. Now, fake agency director blew. How fake agency director blew 400 million naira? That is according to police. 2 directors, 3 others implicated. Yes, like I always say, there must be some insiders. Some people must go down with that planes, that fake DG. 22 additional suspects interrogated. Gbajabiamila's signature act forged. Well, the Nigeria Police Force, NPF, has uncovered how fake Director General of a fictitious Presidential Economic Advisory Council, PEC, and Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, Prince Adini Adeyemi Matthew, blew 400 million naira on cars, relatives, and luxury items. Contrary to his claim, the police discovered that he never converted the 400 million naira to dollars. There was no record he gave the chief of staff to the president, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, any money. The principal suspect also contradicted his allegations against Gbajabiamila by claiming that he secured the appointment in March 2024 and gave 400 million naira bribe to get appointment in 2025. And it was also discovered that he obtained another 100 million naira loan from a microfinance bank to meet up with his high life taste. But 5 top government officials have been identified and quizzed for playing a major role in facilitating the commission of the offences. They are 2 directors in the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation and the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation. Others are a special assistant in the Budget Office, an assistant director with the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, and a seconded staff from the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. The police also grilled 22 suspects whose names appeared in the course of the investigation. These are the highlights of police investigation report of July 24, 2026. Yes, and it was exclusively obtained. And yes, like I always say, and like you always say too, there are people that should. This is not supposed to be a one-man show. It should be all those involved should be investigated, arrested, and investigated. And now I like how this is being handled right now. Yes, all those that are involved being picked up and being interrogated.
Well, pressure is coming from various angles. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is talking again, and it says here Atiku rejects lone wolf theory.
Yes.
Asked Tinubu to name insiders regarding the PFIPC scandal. And Atiku says, I'm fast forwarding now. He says that an individual allegedly forged a presidential appointment letter, created a fictitious federal agency, took over offices of the former Presidential Economic Advisory Council, opened bank accounts with forged legislative instruments, and created 2 additional fake government agencies. Yet, he said, Nigerians were being told that state house systems were above board. Both claims cannot comfortably coexist, Atiku said. If there was a connivance, who connived? If public officers were negligent, who are they? Who granted access to government offices? Who recognized the supposed Director General? Who enabled him to operate within the machinery of government? He asked, and we also ask. Nigerians are also asking.
Yes, and and I, like I said, and you said so. How can he act alone? How can he act alone? And just like our guys will say, enter the Accountant General's office, enter the Chief of Staff's office, enter the all the other government top government offices like that, and obtain documents, enter the budget office for his fake agency to be included in the 2026 budget. All those questions, they are baffling. Yes, they are baffling.
Atiku raises alarm over mystery payments into his private bank accounts.
Yes.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has raised the alarm over a suspicious credit into one of his private bank accounts, warning that the incident raises serious questions about the safety of Nigerians' finance data. But it didn't state how much. In a statement issued on Friday by a senior special assistant on public communication, Frank Chaibu, Atiku said an unknown individual made a transfer into his private account domiciled with one of Nigeria's leading commercial banks. The payment came with the narration, contribution electioneering campaign. Is there anything wrong with that, except that maybe you don't know the person? According to the statement, neither Atiku nor his campaign team solicited, authorized, or asked any knowledge of the individual or entity behind the payment. Well, I think before going public, he should first of all find out who did this.
How the money was, at least if the money got into his account, there should be details of who or which organization or which company deposited that money into his account, and
unless he's telling us that he doesn't need any help regarding his electioneering campaign.
He also warned that exposing confidential banking information could leave individuals vulnerable to criminal threats, including kidnapping, fraud, banditry, and terrorism. So, who is exposing? Who is exposing?
He is a popular figure. He's a national figure. It might not be that difficult getting his bank accounts bank statements.
Yes, and I'm sure he will not reveal his bank statement to anyone.
If it's about fraud now, we can say okay, fine. But obtaining your bank account, well, I don't know. I don't think that should be too difficult. This one, but Kano police, elderly man in viral video was paid 1,000 naira to claim he was Deputy Senate President's father. Well, this was orchestrated by a young man. The poor Baba was made to say that he is the Senate President's father. He was looking hungry and unkempt, and he was claiming that the Deputy Senate President had abandoned him. And the Baba was paid 1,000 naira to do that. What I don't know is to what end, what the young man was trying to achieve, but the police have now arrested him. Kano police, elderly man in viral video was paid 1,000 naira to claim he was Deputy Senate President's father. It cannot even buy a satisfactory meal of amala and the begiri soup.
Yes, well, now quickly before we go to the phone lines, you remember the Kwara rescue of some abductees. There's about 300 and something of them. Well, we have information here that some of the rescued victims of the February 3 terrorist attack on Woro and Nuku communities in Kayama local government area of Kwara State have revealed that at least 13 captives died during the nearly 6 months in captivity, while 12 children were still being held by the terrorists. And speaking with the Punch in Ilorin on Friday, after they were formally received by the Kwara State government, the victim said they ate one meal a day and slept in the open forest. The victims were among the 176 women and children abducted when terrorists believed to be Boko Haram launched coordinated attacks on Wuro and neighboring Nuku communities, and hundreds of gunmen riding motorcycles reportedly invaded the communities after residents rejected the group's extremist ideologies. Well, the main fact here is that, yes, 13 died during captivity. While in captivity, 12 children are still, in captivity with the terrorists. How will these 12 children be released?
Let's open the phone lines. My husband is a drug addict. Confessed he was expelled from school for cultism. Woman tells court. That's from the book of matrimonial oddities.
Yes, 07055551985 or 08055009850. The program is Conversation Oluyole FM 98.5 right here in the city of Ibadan. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Oh, hello, good morning. Now, please do well to call us back. We can't hear you. We will hear this. My husband stabs me. Our 10 children. I want divorce, says wife. You know what the man said? A man who already has 10 children. She wants to leave me because I plan to marry another wife after 10 children.
Maybe he loves children.
Oh, okay.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. That will be Mr. Warren.
Now, come to the hand is this one. What is the check-up? That's what I state. Everything was Dr. Oyetola. The hand is this one. What is the check-up? That's for you to state. Now, come to your day. How can I tell me under the hospital and where the document and the story of this and that? What the police information is that is zero. I don't believe on them. It's all lie. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warren.
Mr. Warren.
Yes, the program is still Conversation, Oluyole FM 98.5 in Ibadan. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good Michael, calling from morning.
Good to have you, Mr. Ojo Michael.
I want to start with the country. Yes, issue of the lady that go do that or film you market or whatever, storage or whatever. The way you analyze Mr. River, you know, Mr. River can be called you chief analyst the other time. That is who you are. What does she want to gain from that? When it was said that woman doesn't feel low, so what problem has to do that? That is that about that. Yes, I want to commend Governor Sheyi Makinde for what he did when he commissioned the project at Arrow Market yesterday. He said he gave the shop to the who benefit from it free of charge. That's a good thing. Yes, I want to commend him for that. Yes, he's doing well. Yes, let him continue fulfilling the of it. God bless him. God bless you. Happy nice weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Ojo Michael. Also, no, 55551985. That's the number to call. And okay, police officer strips woman naked, beat her black blue after catching her with Obi in their bedroom. They went to recover a loan from the woman's husband, and they saw them having sex in the bedroom, and the pounced on the woman instead of the man who was holding him.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, good people behind the console.
Good morning.
We continue to be with you, work with you.
Amen.
Amen.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Amen.
Well done, sir. This I can be advised from you.
Good to have you, sir.
Professor Tola Teriba, you expressed the same opinion of John Cardinal Onayeka this morning, for which the presidency demanded his head. Things are very, very difficult for the common man. It is becoming harder by the day. And unfortunately, because they are not feeling the touch, the psychopath advisor of the president said, we are swimming in the ocean of abundance in this country. That's very unfortunate. Yes, back to the salient point you raised. No one should encourage theft. In fact, it should be condemned in its entirety. But still, behind everything that moves, there is a mover. A Yoruba proverb says, Taban kilo fo le pe ko mo jisu ni suwama. O ye ka kilo fun su na pe ko ye tata boju ode. When you are warning thieves to stop stealing people's yam, the yam should also be warned to stop from protruding from the heap. People are terribly hungry, Mr. Tola and Mr. Bimbo. It is not everybody that can endure what you can know. It is high time the government did something tangible to address the issue of hunger rather than the issue of election. Let me tell you, if the priorities given to the elections in this country are given to the poverty, we will have been laughing by now. Maybe the government is weaponizing poverty to garner more electorate by attacking them with peanuts during the election day. So what you need, Korikati, need Jemebaniri. God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much,
Mr. Akombi Adebayo. Well, I'm not a professor yet.
No, because of your analysis, serious analysis. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
God be with you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I decree this into Nigeria, to your state and individual home, peace in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Amen.
My name is Ogudua. I am calling from Latin. I want to talk about that lady and Oluyole matter. If they ask you that don't do this thing, that is a taboo, assuming that you are trying to explain the reason for a certain girl or for a certain child, that if you do this, this is going to be the outcome. And that child is trying to switch that conversation that, mommy, have you done it before?
if I do it, I'm not going to die. Who have done it that you see? You should be expecting that. God forbid bad thing. That child may run into a dangerous path, trap. So this is a lesson for everybody, not for a woman alone. Whatever they tell you that you must not do it, don't do it. God will heal her and nothing will happen to her in Jesus' name. Amen. My name is Ogolua. Good morning.
Thank you, Mama Ogolua. Okay, can we squeeze in one more?
One more call. Yeah. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Quickly, sir.
This is Oluyole calling from Atlanta.
Yes.
If not because of time, I want to take you up. You say that the money of facilitation it belongs to the government, and now it's the partner property of the governor. Now, the money belongs to both members of the APC, Accord, other parties. I mean the people of Osun State.
Okay.
So, in fact, it's a good omen that the president at least overruled the EFCC. But it's not timely. Why is it now? That is quite many questions people are asking. If they ask everything they are covered, they will have done that before and not now. So, but we thank God. And to say in a clear stone, you see, if you continue like that, you are generating sympathy for the people. So I think EFCC should not be so politicized. Thank you, Dr. Ilabogu from Lalata.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Ilabogu. Check your time is 7:30. We have to go. Very interesting time on conversation. We'll be back same time Monday morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akambi. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy your weekend.
Ṣé wọ́n mọ talk and do governor? Èmi mọ talk and do governor. Governor Ṣèyí Mákindé, gómìnà Toyota. Ṣèyí o, ọmọ bàbá àtìsà. Ọ̀yọ́ kò lókè. TS Charity. Ṣèyí o, ọmọ bàbá àtìsà. Gómìnà tiwa ní ìyẹn nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Talk and do governor kan tí mo mọ̀. Ṣèyí ọmọ Mákindé, gómìnà Toyota. Ẹ wò Ṣèyí ti ṣèyí o, bàbá àtìsà. Gómìnà tiwa ní ìyẹn nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Talk and do governor kan tí mo mọ̀. Ṣèyí ọmọ Mákindé, gómìnà Toyota.
Ká wí bẹ́ẹ̀ ká ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ òun ni iyì ọmọ ènìyàn. Iyì ọmọ ènìyàn nìkan tó wá kọ́ òun là ń pè ní olóòótọ́ ènìyàn. Bóyá tàbí ṣùgbọ́n kọ́mọ̀ ó ti rí bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni gbogbo ojú ti rí. Bí ọlọ́lá jùlọ gómìnà tiwa ẹnjiníà Olúṣèyí Mákindé, gómìnà tó dúró tán ṣe mú bàálù ológun èyí tí a mọ̀ sí surveillance aircraft wọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ wá. Eléyìí tó jẹ́ ìkan pàtàkì lára àwọn ìlérí tí gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé ti ṣe fún wa ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Ìdí wá nìyí o tí iléeṣẹ́ rédíò àti tẹlifíṣàn ti ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ BCOS ilé akéde ṣe ń gbé òṣùbàràbàǹdẹ̀ fún gómìnà tiwa ní ti jíjẹ́ olóòótọ́ ènìyàn àti fífi tọmọnìyàn ṣe ní ti ìlérí tí wọ́n ṣe ní ti ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ tí kò mẹ́rí ni ká sọ ni àbí ti sísan owó àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ lásìkò àti àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sísọ ìgbẹ́dìgboro kò gbẹ́yìn àti ètò ààbò àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. ṣe ti wá rí wípé wíbẹ̀ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé wò ó ti gbayì jùjọ gọ́vnọ̀ talk and do.
Ṣèyí Mákindé ṣe bẹbẹ lọ́yọ́ o. Ó ṣe bẹbẹ.
98.5 Oluyole FM.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Sported Beat on Oluyole FM 98.5. of course, I'll be yours for today, Oluwatu Ihinka. You can also listen to us on Agility FM 96.3 and Okeogun FM 92.1 respectively.